Here's the next one that I would give you good advice for this year, and that is to exercise your willpower. No telling what you can do if you set your mind to do it. Two of the most powerful words in the language, I will. Benjamin Disraeli once said, nothing can resist a human will. And if you'll use those two words a little more often this year, I will learn the disciplines. I will get better every day. I will make sure my presentation is the best. I will make the best of my opportunity. I will maximize my time. I will try to correct my errors in judgment better this year than last year. I will do a superb job. If you'll use that willpower, I'm telling you, the I will power that you have is unmatched. If you'll just use it. Sometimes we have a lot that we aren't using. It's like having a bank account and you never write a check. That would be a little strange. Or you have a $10 million bank account and you keep writing $1 checks. What I'm asking you to do, you've got a $10 million bank account of willpower. What I'm asking you to do this year, and that is to write some larger checks. Take on some larger challenges. And say to yourself, hey, I've learned to solve problems in the past. I will solve the problems of the future. I will correct my mistakes. I will learn to meet people that I was afraid of before. I will learn to master getting up and talking in those public meetings. I will become a leader and help people with their Herbalife future. I will make the necessary changes. I'm telling you, you can do that.
Right, a lot of people use these glamour Hollywood shots, right? And when they show up in person, they look a little used around the edges, right? I'd rather have people surprised on the upside than surprised on the disappointing side. If you're working with people, let me give you one of the greatest clues I've learned. When you're working with people, let them find out it was more than you promised, and let them find out it was easier than you said. Later, you always want people to be surprised that it's more than you promised, and it's easier than you said. Key here, learn to trust the truth. If the truth isn't enough, then all you have to do is become stronger yourself in presenting the truth. All right, number one was stories. Number two, accuracy, facts, telling the truth. Sometimes you never know who's going to be around to check the accuracy of your stories. But learn to trust the truth. There's nothing more powerful than the truth. I got an ancient quote for you. Here's what it is. The truth will set you free. That's what sets you free, the truth. Many people are dealing in affirmations, but I'll tell you what sets you free, the truth. The best thing to affirm is the truth. If you're broke, best thing to affirm is, I am broke. That's what you put up on the refrigerator. It's the truth that sets you free. Right? When you're shaving in the morning, gentlemen, if you're broke, you just put that up there. I'm broke. There's nothing better to set you free than the awesome facts, the truth. So deal in truth. Affirmation without discipline leads to delusion. And the discipline and the accuracy of knowing your situation. You say, well, that's a bit negative. You've got to deal somewhat in negativity. If you've got something fairly wrong with your heart, it looks like you're going to need a major operation, how many x-rays do you want them to take to find out what's really wrong? Somebody says, oh, just take one and see if we catch it. You say, no, not my heart. How many x-rays do you want them to take? It's kind of a negative subject, taking x-rays. How many? As many as it takes to find the full extent of the facts called the negative problem. So best to state the truth. Now we can deal with truth. Now we can deal with the problem if we accurately state it and we take an x-ray that shows it in all of its insidiousness. Now we can go after it and we can effect a cure. Now we can start the positive treatment. But at first, you got to know the problem before you can find the answer. So dealing in truth, so important. It sets you free.
So first of all, just to be clear, I don't know that I totally fit the philosophy of this show. And I've seen many of your shows, not all of them, but many. And what's driving the conversations and your motivation for the guests that you have in this couch is that they had some vision statement. And they and they have grit. Okay, they got knocked down, they stood back up, they tried another way, they got knocked down again, then they were successful, either measured by wealth or influence or just joy in their life's passions. For me, what I do for the public is almost 80+% of it is driven by duty, not by ambition.
What gives you the sense of duty?
Because I can do something, and if I can do it better than others, and it's for a greater good in society, I would be irresponsible if I did not. That's how I view it. So when I get requests to either advise in the science on a movie, artist calling, I say, well, my expertise is not unique in what it is you need. Here are 7 other people, you should get them. I'm not seeking this visibility. If someone says, well, we need this for this reason, and we came to you for that reason, I said, yeah, I think I can make a unique stamp on what it is you're doing. I will agree to do that. Because if I didn't, then the product would not be as good as I know I could have helped it become. And so I'd be irresponsible if that were the case. This is how I ended up hosting Cosmos in 2014. Anne Druyan, the widow of Carl Sagan, who is hugely talented and a little bit in his shadow over his years, but she co-wrote the original Cosmos in 1980. Co-wrote it and was co-writer of the Cosmos that I was the host of in 2014. She's one of the most enlightened people I've ever met. Okay. She approached me and said, would you consider hosting Cosmos? I said, there's a dozen people, maybe half dozen others, who would jump at this opportunity. I don't need to do this. I really don't. I have books I want to write, this sort of thing. I don't need to be a TV star. Then I thought about it, and I said, well, I met Carl Sagan when I was 17. I was applying to colleges. He was at Cornell. I had been accepted at Cornell, but didn't know what college I wanted to go to. And the admissions office saw that I wasn't totally in the moment there. I didn't know this, they had forwarded my application to him for his reaction. I was already deep in the universe since I was 9. And he sent me a letter. He doesn't know me from Adam. I'm a 17-year-old kid from the Bronx. He's a professor of astronomy at Cornell University. And I get this letter and I open it and it says, I understand you like the same stuff I like. Do you want to come visit the campus to help you decide if you want to go to Cornell? It was like, whoa, now he hadn't done Cosmos yet, that's how old I am, but he was already famous. He'd been on The Tonight Show and, and had best-selling books. So I took him up on it. I took a bus up to Ithaca, New York. He met me outside his building on a Saturday, invited me up to his office, saw the labs. I'm there in front of him. He did something really cool. He reached back, didn't even look, grabbed a book off the shelf. It was one of his books. I thought that was a badass thing. Don't even have to look. That's one of my books, yep. Okay, here. And he signed it to me. Neil Tyson, future astronomer, signed Carl. But that's only the half of it. Later in the day, I'm ready to go back to New York. It begins to snow, as it does often in December in Ithaca. And he says, here's my home number. If the bus can't get through from the snow, spend the night with my family and go back tomorrow. I'm thinking, who am I? Why? I'm nobody. But I was somebody to him. And I said to myself, if I'm ever as remotely famous as he is, I will treat students the way he has treated me. So why did I go down that path? Oh, because I had that memory. And I said to myself, if we can fold this memory into this next Cosmos, then we have a way to justify who and what I am as the next host, because a torch got passed. It wasn't passed in 2014, it was passed in 1975, all right, to Neil Tyson, future astronomer. I still have that book. So I thought to myself, I possibly could bring a unique contribution as host to the show. And that's what I did. So my visibility is primarily because things that I think I can contribute uniquely, or that people request, and it would help enhance their lives.
Apply what we gave you. It could be 10%, it could be 40%, I don't know. But what took place today could shift your life forever, because you got a brain. So when you find yourself down and out, you gonna think about, man, if Jill was in her car, homeless and pregnant, and she got through it, that girl done sang in Africa and been to Ecuador and all over the globe. If she could do it, you know now you could do it.
Why do we give up on this gift called life so easily and allow the pain to stop us from moving on into our great future, man? We got this, we got control, we're a special creation. And we give up and we throw it away so easy. That's why I can't give up and I can't throw it away, because I realize that I'm special, that I'm made by a special power, and we all are, every single one of them.
Their life is their life, but they're a spectator. What is your intention when you're sitting down with your significant other? What is your intention when you go into the board meeting? What is in your intention when you're talking to your employees? What is your intention when you talk to your mom? So what's the experience that you want to create when you're with that person? Accountability is love. Holding people accountable is saying, I love you. When I hold you accountable, I'm saying you're capable of a bigger game. So holding people accountable and being present creates an environment of people being present.
I want you to think about something in terms of your life. Now, if you wanted to run a marathon, but every time you got frustrated, every time you got tired, would you ever complete the goal of running a marathon? Of course not. Life is the same. Success is the same.
Everybody just wants to see this back to them. They want the heavyweight of the ring. They want the jewels. They want the riches. They want the house, the cars. Want the performance. Want to be great. Want to look at yourself and believe in who you've become. And even more importantly, if there's no one around to look, if there's no one around to impress, do I still push?
Then your comfort zone. Stop being pushed around by the fears in your mind and start being led by the dreams in your heart.
This is your moment. And you gotta look in the mirror and believe that.
Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship.
Then greatness will be yours. Number one, the foundation of greatness must be built on fire. Now when I say fire, I'm referring to passion. Success is just a child, the offspring produced from a person who has married doing the thing they love. If you want greatness, then you gotta pick your profession.